Okay. Against my better judgment, I decided to do chapter 50, just because there are some funny things inside, just from a writing perspective. So chapter 50, 第50章, 我破解我自己. So I cracked my own thing, cracked my own game. Lu Yuan read with interest the posts posted by the geeks. Most of them have used various tools to download and try to open the package or dissect the package tomorrow has arrived, but the result is not optimistic. So the first page on the forum is filled with such incompetent fury. This game package is simply a smash, the title was topped as the highest hot post. The owner of the hot post described in detail his own attempts after downloading the feature from the Steam platform. Even after I just opened the chapter, I was stunned when I saw the application was packaged all together. But as a geek, this kind of thing is also in pediatrics. If used as an analogy, the game program is somewhat like a small house with a garden. Flowers and plants grow in the courtyard. You can see everything in the garden through the fence outside. If you think about it a little bit, then you can push open the fence and go to the garden to pick a few flowers, flutter a few butterflies, and even push open the door to see the structure and furnishings of the house. Educated geeks will usually leave after seeing it, seeing the source code, or engrave their name on a knife and fork of the other party's meal to show they've been there, right? Maybe like leave a few mementos. For geeks with less noble morals, they attempt to take away some of the most valuable things in the house, or point to the hole in the fence and tell the host he needs to collect money to help repair the fence. So so as you can see, there's a couple analogies. So educated geeks are probably the people who they just leave like little bits of code that say, "Hey, we were here," right? Like a Kilroy, or thing. And then for the geeks with less noble morals, you're talking about the black hats. These are the people that ransomware said, "Hey, you got a hole here. We're not going to tell you how to do it, but we're definitely we're definitely going to steal a couple things." Reminds me of manga decks and their information leak and thing. This kind of small house with a garden is the most common form of procedure, and some houses or some apartments are wrapped in reinforced concrete. The doors are anti-theft doors, and even the windows are nailed with aluminum alloy bird cages. This is enough to block the invasion of most geeks, script kiddies generally as they call it. But there are some smart geeks who are not good at them. They carry electric drills, steel saw blades, and even drive excavators. Right, so these are the guys with the big guns, the hacking tools. Metasploit their own custom hacking software and pen testing. If they can't cleverly pick the anti-lock theft door, with encryption keys and cracking tools, or port scanning with a small one in their hands, when the hairpin is open, they'll just drill through the wall, right? Sometimes with brute force, sometimes with bugs and exploits. They'll saw the steel bars or even smash a big hole directly with an excavator, right? Just literally just kill the server with computational power, especially with the IoT, and then get what they want in the room and then just walk away. I love this analogy. Very well written. But the coming of tomorrow, tomorrow hasn't arrived, does not belong to the above two categories. It belongs to the third category. The geeks complained bitterly in the post, or that post specifically, the geek complained bitterly. Tomorrow's more like a safe made out of special metal, delicate, heavy, and tight. It's so heavy you can't move it, and it's so hard you can't saw it open, right? Because it's all based on a server. So the data is encrypted. You gotta the encryption is difficult. The files are not local. And you've got high level computation, so you're not going to be able to bring down the server, right? So it's almost like an adaptable malleable metal, or like slicing liquid, right? It'll always reform. Even if you hit it with a sledgehammer or hit it with an excavator, you'll watch the safe fall and roll far on the ground. You leaned over and you found that the safe was just a little bit torn, or warped is probably what it's saying. Can you understand this despair? All the geeks present felt the same and fully understood. The Ministry of Defense, the DoD or the Pentagon website of the Seahawk Nation, does not have such a strong defense. Now, he doesn't actually say the U.S., but I'm pretty sure most people know, like, the DoD, Department of Defense, and the Pentagon is some of the most heavily encrypted stuff in the world. But then again, most militaries are very heavily encrypted, the White House and stuff. Of course, there's no need for such a large amount of information interaction with the outside world before tomorrow. So there's the natural advantage in defense construction. Lu Yuan browsed the life of the geeks with the emotion of visiting. They tried all kinds of methods, and they have not initially opened the package of tomorrow hasn't arrived. But compared to them, they maliciously slandered tomorrow hasn't arrived. Ling is full of a smelly and hard thatched stone. In fact, if Lu Yuan said it, Ling tomorrow is more like a copper pea. It doesn't go bad when it's steamed. It doesn't cook well. It doesn't make a hammer. It doesn't burst when it's fried. It sounds like it's as resilient as a copper pea. So they're just described. So Wei Ling. So they're just describing what it is. Oh no. So tomorrow's gonna arrive because that's Miner Wei Ling. Is a tuft of smelly and hard thatched stone, right? Or the other saying would be like stinky and smelly poop, or like poop stick. Because stinky and smelly poop is very hard to flush, right? It just that's a very famous saying for a character in Chinese. But yeah, stinky and smelly poop. Because when those are like the hardest to remove from a toilet, and so yeah, that's a very funny idiom. Lu Yuan has seen the tragic situation of these geeks being rubbed against the ground by the traffic committee. After all, this is the equivalent of a duel between a knife, a spear, an airplane tank, and an airplane tank that contentedly wants to close the page. But before leaving, the goddess ghostly refreshed the page again. And I only saw the bold title appearing in front of me instantly. A reward of 500,000 is offered for cracking the firewall of Tomorrow Hasn't Arrived. The youth instantly became energetic. Tomorrow's not coming, yes. He clicked on the title again and found that the poster was the author of who just accused the package of Tomorrow Hasn't Arrived as Yi Tuo Xiang. No chance I even got that right. After persistent efforts, he finally found that he was completely defeated. But at the same time, he believed that Tomorrow Hasn't Arrived is a program that humans cannot crack at this stage unless the source code and first acquaintance development tools can be found. So he threw 500,000 yuan to offer a world for all the geeks who can successfully dismantle and crack Tomorrow Hasn't Arrived, which is regarded as a grand feat. The boy touched his nose admittedly. Hey, $500,000 yuan. Although said with the release of Tomorrow, his pockets are bolted a lot, but in the face of 500,000 yuan sent to the door, it's really difficult for him to refuse, okay? It's like, I'm okay with you cracking as long as you don't steal the idea. So after the manufacturer receives the game given by the game player, does the manufacturer teach others how to crack their own game? I feel it's okay, Lu Yuan meditated. Just to do it, Lu Yuan immediately registered an account with the transportation committee on, and his nickname is Nightcrow, Ye Ying. After logging into the forum and opening the reward post, he found that because the post owner was too tyrant, tyrant generally just means like, in English terms, it would be like a whale or a big player. What is it? Money player. He was filled with 10 pages in an instant. Excluding a large number of unnutritious local tyrants seeking support, I will sell Nikkei stickers, I think it's Japanese, with a cute bed warmer, along with which some geeks have written their own cracking ideas on them. Most of them are just ideas and not really tried. Because even if you try, the end result can only be hated on the spot. Lu Yuan read it once and confirmed he is the one who eats crabs. So he opened the development post interface and coded a string of nearly 100 cones very coldly and then wrote, "Try this." After doing all this, Lu Yuan exited his account cleanly and closed the geek forum. After all, sometimes being a geek requires a high degree of coldness. The colder you are, other people think you are more capable. Even if you bluff people out, you'll feel jingle all over and bring your own BGM, background music. Silence is Cambridge tonight. However, after this operation, the time has come to evening again. Not long after Lu Mu had already let Lu Yuan go over to eat and returned to the computer after eating, Lu Yuan opened the geek forum and found that the posts were completely submerged in the masses. The number of pages of this reward post has exceeded the 50 mark, but Lu Yuan is not in a hurry. In this matter, gold will always shine. 金子总会发光. So the boy relogged into his Nightcrow account and continued to code out the second code, and then logged out of the account and logged out of the forum. After the matter's gone, he will hide his merit and fame deeply. After leaving the forum, Lu Yuan subconsciously opened the sales bracket of that was Tomorrow Hasn't Arrived and found that the sales had approached the 10,000 mark. The increase is gratifying. With the sale of 10,000 sets, Lu Yuan's profit has already approached the 1 million mark. This is real money. Even if you don't get it, the boy's mood is a little excited. After all, this is completely legal income from labor. It's as reasonable as legal as if I cracked myself. With a happy mood, Lu Yuan opened the Beeline website and clicked on Su Mei's personal homepage. Tomorrow Hasn't Arrived. The End of Earth's Journey, Episode 2. Yeah, finally released. And then he's promoting some stuff in the Oscar testimonials. Chapter 51, I'm definitely doing. There's a good quote that I just can't ignore. But yeah, so it's chapters like these that he really fleshed with the background, and so it's very good. Chapter 50 was pretty fun to read, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well.